Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you joining from different region, different geographical locations. So before I proceed, I would like to give you a little introduction about myself. My name is 𝐓𝐫𝐻𝐿 and I have been working into the IT industry from almost 12 years now, and I've been delivering training from almost 10 years, 10 plus years now. I am one of the most preferred trainer in the Selenium industry. I am one of the trainer who has specialized delivery on online platform as a pure focus area. Now, coming back to the topic of discussion. So many people, okay, let me make it sweet and short. Let me come from the scratch of the process. I'll give you a little gist of what do we have. So first is every product, be it a software product, hardware product, anything, you have to do a testing, right? You do testing. What do? You check it, correct? Testing is a very essential part of any product, be it a software product, hardware product, be it a service, anything. You have to test it, how things are working. You check, keep a check of everything, right? That's basically very important part, because this defines how is the product. This defines, is the product correct? This defines, are we delivering the right things? So testing is done in two ways. One is with manual process and the other one is with automation. When we talk about manual testing is nothing but, if you have a software, you have a form, okay, this is a form, you are filling up the information manually and submitting the information and going to the Excel file and entering the data that, okay, I have filled up this information and this is the result. I got success. The form is submitted, results are clear. This way you keep going with the flow, you complete the process, n number of data you pour in to the text boxes and the data on the form, you fill up the form, you complete the process, and then you submit the things and you record it. This is purely done with manual process. This is manual process. A computer is there, a person is sitting in front of the computer and doing the things manually is nothing but manual testing. Then what is automation? This is manual testing. Then what is that automation? We write a code to get the things done by a machine, and the machine helps you to get the execution done on the application. So this is basically automation. We take the help of automation tools to get the things done. So we write a code, we take the help of coding tools to get the work done by coding. That's what is basically automation testing. Oh, coding, then this is going to be a tough, right? No, not really. Let me tell you why you should go for an automation testing. Because manual testers are still treated as if they are in a non-technical domain only. Many companies treat manual testers as a non-technical experts, and this is the only entry gate to work in an IT company. But if you really want to become an IT professional, you should always opt for automation testing domain, because very logical process. You have a very simple logic that, okay, if an application, if a text box is present, what do you do with the text box? You type into it, right? How do you check it? By typing. Simple logic, simple logic. You just have to run your logics and do the things. First, understand what is the logic, start doing the coding, which you learn in the class, and your work is done. It's not difficult. Many people get scared that, okay, I have to learn Java, I will have to do coding. Trust me, it's very easy to learn that also. I have seen this experience. Within 30 hours of my delivery, many times we have seen that people got jobs. They were in an urge of getting a job. They were in a very, very eager to get a job. They kept on applying during the training itself. And within 30 hours, they got a job. They didn't even finish 36 hours. Even that has been possible in my trainings. I've seen that. I cannot comment about the other trainer because I've not been able to connect to those people, right? So obviously I will be able to talk about what I can do for you, right? But what Edureka can do, I can definitely tell you. So here Edureka supports you for all those things. So whatever you need to learn automation testing, we have this particular automation industry running with maximum percentage. I would say around 70% of the business in automation domain, 70% of the users are using Selenium in their projects. This is the hold of this product called Selenium. What is Selenium? Selenium Selenium is basically an automation testing tool which can help you to automate web browser. Means what? I can automate my browser? Not actually, but yes, you can automate all those things that you can access via this web browser. You can automate any web application through the help of Selenium. Just what you need to learn is core Java and Selenium coding. That's it, and you're done. It's not difficult. This is so easy. It's so easy. It's not difficult. Now, okay, what is the Selenium? But Abresh, you have not yet discussed about what is the Selenium. Selenium is an automation, web automation testing tool which helps you to interact with the browsers and get the task done over there. Okay, so if you have a button on the browser, you opened up Facebook, you have a login page, right? When you open up Facebook, you log into the application, correct? The same process you can automate with your Selenium. Yes, that's what you can do. Every application that you access from the browser, you can automate the process. On top of it, I'll tell you, I have been doing all my daily tasks that I do on a browser. There are a lot of activities that I do on a browser. I have automated them with Selenium. For my personal use, yes, we can do that. Selenium is so strong. Anything that you access on a browser, you can automate with it. So with Selenium. Selenium is not just one tool. It comes with a package of 3 tools: IDE, it is a record and playback tool; WebDriver, which is the master of all, basically the biggest product in the market, the most preferred product in the market, which is basically a coding tool; and Grid, which is a helper to WebDriver. So it just helps you to connect to multiple machines and get WebDriver's execution done on those machines. So Selenium is an umbrella under which you have 3 tools: Selenium IDE, WebDriver, and Grid. Now, this is fine, but you didn't say anything about TestNG. That's the reason we are here. Yes, absolutely correct. You are here for TestNG, and I want you to set up your background first, and then I will be able to talk about what is TestNG. When it comes to Selenium, they don't write you need to know TestNG because it's just at the side of it by default written into the hidden bracket, I would say. If you see any profile requirement, they will tell you that you should know Selenium. But when it comes to reality, they will say that, okay, TestNG, do we have to actually specify that? It's a by default condition. If you know Selenium, you know TestNG. That's a default process. TestNG is coming hand in hand with Selenium. What is TestNG? Selenium is a coding tool. TestNG is an enhancer to those coding tools. Okay, what you can do with Selenium, same thing you do it with TestNG. The only thing is it acts as a packaging. You have seen the chocolates, right? Ferrero Rocher, so very popular chocolate. You might be having it. How do you like it? Why do you buy it? Very simple question. Why would you buy it for such a high pricing? Why people? Okay, let's say you are not buying it, but why people buy this chocolate? A heavy pricing, still people buy it. They give gifts, they give sort of people reach out to different people and they deliver this kind of chocolates, and if somebody is offering you, you never say no that okay, I don't like this chocolate. Why this is quality? uh, okay, quality you can judge it only after you eat, right? What's the other thing that makes it more interesting? If you see a chocolate shop, how do you get attracted to only this particular chocolate? The packaging. Packaging is a very important part in this particular process. TestNG adds that. TestNG, this is Selenium. This is TestNG. This is TestNG. Better conditions, better features, add-on functionality, add-on benefits. What does that wrapper to the chocolate adds? Benefits of selling it properly, or it adds premiumness to it. Correct? Quality is definitely high. I'm pretty sure about it. But quality comes after you eat it. But first, to eat it, you need to buy it. There has to be a reason why you buy it for such a high pricing. So all these things comes over here in connection to this also. TestNG is just a product which adds value to your code of Selenium. So what you do with Selenium, you do it better and enhance the code with TestNG, and that's the beauty of TestNG. Along with that, what else you get as a benefit is Selenium does not have a reporting mechanism. TestNG adds that. Selenium code can be written in a pattern but cannot be customized while execution, but TestNG does that. So customized execution, I would name it as customized execution. TestNG comes packed up with controllers, execution controllers. Control the execution and control in such a way that what I want, I will run it. How do I want it? I will run it with single point of execution. It also comes with a single point of execution. That is basically your XML execution process. It comes with a process wherein you can run a particular file and it can help you to run 10 different test cases, 100 different test cases in one shot. That's the beauty that it gives you as a benefit. So this is why TestNG comes hand in hand with Selenium. Lot of benefits TestNG adds up: controlling, customization, better look and feel of the code, clean and clear, clean and tidy code. Then we have a lot of other things that you get in Selenium. So overall, this adds value to your process. Okay. Now, when we talk about Selenium and TestNG together combination, it also adds another set of value, that is you can have your data in your Excel file easily. This can be poured in to your code that you have while execution, and this can help you to get the execution done with the data on the application. This also comes as a feature of TestNG, where we call it as data provider annotation. So basically the concept is called as data provider process, which helps you to run the data driven processes into a very smooth and easy way. So these all things actually you get in this process. Let me take you through some of the slides. If they are really required, we will wait and look into those. So manual testing is very boring. You don't have to do all those things repeatedly. So it's boring, time consuming, tedious, mistakes and error prone. So all these things can be reduced with the help of automation testing. So that's why automation is more important in the industry. Another very simple fact I'll tell you. What I do in one day, I can do it in half an hour. Or rather I'd say 15 minutes. Yes, that's the speed that I can do. With automation, you can do that level of speed, and that too with less resources. So Selenium is a suite of software tools to automate web browser. It is an open source and mainly used for functional testing and regression testing. One very important point I missed out. So sorry for that. You know, any programming language, you can use Selenium. Any programming language, you know, Java, Python, C#, Perl, PHP, Ruby, JavaScript, so many options. You have a Windows machine, you have a Mac machine, you have a Linux machine, you can still use it. You have a browser preferences. I like Safari. I don't like Safari. I like Chrome, but I have a Mac. I can still work. Whichever browser you want, whichever operating system you want to use, whichever programming language you want to use, you can use Selenium. There's no hurdle with Selenium. Selenium team says simple fact. Whoever wants to use it, we should be compatible to them. Simple logic they've come up with. No restrictions, no limitations, no need to pay anything. So you are a good hire, right? Think about it. You are in an interview session, you are being hired, you are going for an interview, or let's say there are two people in front of you, one who is an expert of an XYZ tool and the other one is another tool expert. You have two people who are professionally expert into two different tools. Whom will you hire them? How will you decide that? I will prefer hiring an open source person because not only the tool is popular, along with that, it doesn't cost me any additional revenue for buying them. So open source tools are always preferred in the industry. That's why open source market is very, very large, and the community, when it comes to Selenium community, it's one of the biggest community in the industry. You won't believe, I got a problem, technical glitch was there. I could not realize that, okay, this is the reason the process is not working out. There was some Java issue in my machine. So I had installed two variants of Java and Java 11 and 8. But due to some compatibility mismatch, they were not working. And I was unable to, suddenly it stopped working in my machine. I was not sure why the code is failing all the time, and it was not giving a proper response also. It was somewhere around 3:15. I posted a request on the community. 3 minutes, I was out of the issue. Midnight, 3 minutes. After that, I was out of that problem. So this is the vast community that you have. So you obviously get huge chunk of benefits. I have already talked about these things on a very gist way. I don't want you to go through so many things. I want you to make it very simple. If you want to understand a concept in Selenium and you want to master Selenium, you need to learn simple facts about it. How do we do that? Whatever we have to do, how to do it. This is a very important thing that you have to learn. This is why this particular journey that we talk about is being planned out. So we start with the journey of Java refresher. Why do we say refresher? Because we really understand the concept very well that Java is not a 2 hours journey. It requires good amount of, and you should do it with your pace, because those who do not know Java are really scared of Java. To be very sure, yes, 90% of the people would say that, okay, Java is tough. Actually, how much Java we required in Selenium is not tough. If you understand it properly, it's not tough. I try my best to cover as much possible, whatever is required, minimum side. We try to finish it off in our first module, which basically talks about refresher, but I refresh the concepts in such a way that you learn the concept also. Then we move on to the next level, which is level number 2, where we cover the basics, fundamental theoretical part of Selenium, which is very crucial to build up the foundation. Then we land up with third module, which talks about the practical exposure, where we start actually the practical part of WebDriver. So basics of WebDriver theory, some part of theory, and then the practical starts. From here onwards, no theory at all. Almost 10% theory after third module. 10% that too to make you understand what I'm talking about. Just that much of theory, 2-3 lines of theory and stuff. Then we go for an interaction. How do we actually talk to the system, right? We need to learn that. So this is what is covered in the fourth one. Fifth one talks about the TestNG framework. Now, TestNG is a tool or a framework. This is a very big confusion in the market. Basically, Selenium and TestNG both are actually frameworks, but for those people who are developers or for those people who are actually adding contribution into it. But for the user, people like us, I'm a user of TestNG and Selenium. For me, it's a tool. Why? Because I use it as it is. Frameworks are not something which you use it as it is. You create it, you recreate it, but it is created and then we are using it. So we as a user are, for us it is a tool. For people who developed it, for them it is a framework. Okay, so this is the concept. So TestNG is also a tool, Selenium is also a tool as well as a framework. That's why nobody answers a straightforward answer that okay, it is a tool or a framework. They call it both. Then we land up to grid. Selenium also comes with grid and all. So we have covered those topics also in the real world scenarios. Then we talk about Selenium ID also because even though it is not very much used in the industry, but you should have the basic fundamental knowledge because it also solves your problems in certain cases. So it can be of help for all of you. Then we go to the framework level where we teach you to those concept of framework, which helps you to understand any framework that you get in an organization. See, all the organization gives you a ready-made material of framework. So the framework is already prepared by them. You just have to reuse it or use it. But you should have the capability to reuse it also. It's not like, okay, I get a mobile phone, I can start using it. Here it doesn't work like that way. You get a framework, you need to go deep dive into it, understanding how it was being created. If you don't have the understanding of how do we create a framework, you will never be able to understand the framework properly. That's why we teach you the basic fundamental stuff of how to understand a framework, how to create a framework. A lot of angles we teach you, the real world examples. Then you become a expert. Then you practice a lot to make yourself confident about the framework. When you land up to the office, you will be able to handle any sort of framework. We don't claim that you'll be master of framework because that requires almost 4-5 years of experience, but you will be a master of handling the framework. Okay, so that's what you get over here in automation framework 1 and 2. So there is one more concept that we cover over here, and that is two types of, basically we teach about hybrid framework. That's basically the major part. To do that, you have to learn what is hybrid, what is data driven framework. And on the last module, we talk about BDD Cucumber framework, which is very popular in the market because of the agile process. So here, lot of industry focus is moved to the agile process. Agile process is a very simple process. Everybody starts the work at the same time and they finish it simultaneously. Everybody is involved into the same work. So they are focusing in their job, but they all are working together to contribute in such a way that every small information is checked and tested and tried and tested and developed and tested and developed and tested, and at the end of the day you reach to the target well in advance. That's the beauty of agile process, and to follow that, industry is paying more attention on agile. That's why BDD Cucumber with Selenium is a best combination in the market, and that's why people are expecting a lot of training in the BDD Cucumber, where if you land up to my batch, I teach it a little differently. I make a hybrid framework first and then I integrate that hybrid framework with BDD Cucumber framework so that you become capable of handling BDD alone as well as Selenium alone, plus you become a capable of handling both together also. So I give you a three angle training. So that's what I have twisted over here in the particular segment. So this is what you get in the whole journey. Okay, this is basically, I'm skipping these files not because I have this is not the agenda. I don't have the particular slide which I have received. By mistake we received the other file, so I'm directly reaching out why TestNG part. Basically this is the part for coverage. I actually accidentally I deleted my other file, so now I am landed with a full-fledged file, so I'm using it. What is TestNG? Selenium WebDriver cannot generate proper reports, but when combined with TestNG, it is able to give you a 3 level of reports, 3 types of reports you get. It overcomes the limitations of another TestNG frameworks. So very simple logical stuff I have already explained about what is the benefit of TestNG. It comes with a lot of other things as a benefit. It gives you annotation which helps you to control the execution. It helps you to group the test cases or pieces of code into a group so that you can decide, okay, I don't want to run this particular feature, I can skip that, I can control that. I can run multiple things parallelly. I can run them with parameterization where you pass the data from a third-party source. You also have a feature of reports, multiple types of reports, multiple customization you can do. You can handle how my test should run, correct? So a lot of benefits you get in this process. You can integrate Jenkins, Maven, Git, all those of things in a CI/CD process. So to do that, I will basically need a lot of time. Probably I will not be able to cover those kind of things. But before I say thank you, I'm not going to say thank you right now. Don't worry. And I'll show you an example of execution. Okay. I'll show you something on the coding side as well, just to give you an idea of how easy it is. Okay, I'll quickly take you to the TestNG example and I'll show you a comparison also. So this is an example of a simple example. This is the code that you write. Okay, so this is to open the browser. This is to get the URL opened up, and then you're trying to interact with the login process. Now this is the line of code, right? Just a simple lines. Simple concept, simple set of commands. This will help you to log into an application, log in, log out, and close the browser. Okay, open the browser, open the URL, enter the user credentials, log into the application, log out to the application, and close the browser. This is the process that is written in this highlighted lines of code. Okay, same thing. How it looks like in a TestNG environment, I'll show you that also quickly. So this is an example which goes to the TestNG side. So this is how it looks like. The code looks like very clean and tidy, right? Packaged into small chunk of pieces. In a very sorted manner it is written. This is the benefit that you get with TestNG. This is the benefit that you get. I'll just quickly run this example, and we don't run it through a class file, we run it through an XML file. So I'll just quickly go to the XML file and check if I am on the right class. So this is what we will have to simply edit. Definitely you'll not understand, it takes time to make you understand all those concepts, but at least you'll have a picturization in front of you, what actually happens, how automation works. I'm relaxed, I left my system, I left my mouse, everything that works onto it is done with automation. Boom, login done, logout is happening. Logout is almost towards the closure and it's closed. Within a fraction of seconds, everything worked out. I'll increase the speed of this also. I can increase the speed. I'll quickly do that. And yes, so here it is. Right click, run as TestNG suite, and we'll go for off. So this is what is automation. It goes to the web page, logs in, login is done, goes for the sign out, finishes the sign out process, and quits the browser. So fast it works, fraction of seconds. Frankly speaking, I can tell you how much time it took. Let's look into the time also. I'll show you the reports also, just to give you an idea. So Here is your outcome. GitHub login HTML. Open this, and here is your result. So if you see, it took only 9 seconds. Actual time is only 9 seconds, 2 seconds to log in, but rest the whole process took only 9 seconds. Think about it. How much time it will take for you to test everything? It's so fast. You can actually increase out of this 9 seconds, 3 seconds more or less. You can 3 seconds reduce, you can still reduce. I've purposely kept those 3 seconds in between, but you can think of it that it took only 6 seconds to execute the task for me. So speed and accurate process it gives you. And this kind of reports also you get with TestNG. So here is another type of report that I'll try to show you. Here is your actual time taken for the execution. The main important execution took only 2 seconds. Rest is just the opening of the browser time, the closing of the browser time, and the mid part certain features it took time. Only that much of time. Total execution time is so fast. So this is the beauty of TestNG. This is what you can do with automation process. So that's a quick idea that I gave you in this journey. So that's all from my end, guys. Thank you so much.